This is a preview from one of our hair color master classes. This is session 2 of our direct dye hair color series. In this session, we're going to complete a direct dye new growth root touch-up. Our hair grows approximately a half an inch per month. So that means whatever chemical service, hair color service that we're doing, we're going to have to do a new growth touch-up within 4 to 6 weeks. I think what a lot of stylists fail to think about is that they have to maintain direct dye hair colors just like traditional hair colors. They have to get new growth touch-ups as well as mid-shaft and end refresh. I mean, look at this beautiful fade out. This looks like a fairy princess hair color. Now, this is her hair color at 4 weeks out. Because direct dyes are large, pre-colored molecules, they sit on the cuticle layer. And because we keep her nape cut short, what we inevitably do is cut the color off of the nape and the perimeter. So we're going in at 4 weeks with a root touch-up, and we've selected one of the colors from the 3 original colors. We're using the peacock blue to do a root touch-up and recolor her nape and perimeter. We know that direct dyes fade quickly. With every shampoo, they fade more and more. So it's so important that you use sulfate-free products like sulfate-free shampoos, sulfate-free conditioners, and masks. You should not use mousse and gel and foam because you have to use detergent shampoos to cleanse those things out of your hair. And when you use detergent shampoos, they just mess up the cuticle layer. They take the color out. They take any really good conditioners that we put in there for some hair love. Detergent shampoos eliminate those. So you want to stick to sulfate-free and all-natural serums. And you need to wash your hair with cold water. Yep, that's what I said, cold water. When you use hot water, it causes the cuticle layer to expand. You know, in our hair curling videos, we talked about the different bonds in the hair. So when you use water, period, goes into the cortex layer and it rearranges the hydrogen bonds and sometimes the ionic bonds. So go back into some of our other videos so you can get a good foundation on what's going on with the bonds, because once you understand the bonds, then you'll get why with direct dyes, semi-permanent dyes, you want to use cold water, because you want to do everything to keep the cuticle layer smooth and closed. Remember, the dye molecules sit on top of the cuticle, and anything you do that's going to affect the cuticle, cause it to open or close, is going to cause the dye molecules to dislodge. This is the final panel of our new growth root touch-up with the direct dyes. As a colorist, we knew that the pastel direct dyes were not going to last a long time. We knew that we were going to take her down 2 or 3 levels in order to maintain this vibrant hair color. We start at the highest level and then we tint back lower. We don't begin with a lower level hair color and then try to lift higher. We start high and then we play around and we can go darker. We applied this direct dye hair color to dry hair so we can get a more intense effect. Her hair is bleached underneath all of this direct dye, so it's extremely porous. Now, the texture, the porosity of the hair 1 inch away from the scalp is different from the porosity on the rest of the hair shaft. Okay, that's because we've been bleaching the hair on the hair shaft and ends for years. And this 1 inch region right here at the scalp, well, that's like baby hair. That's new hair. It hasn't been bleached as many times. Because that 1 inch away from the scalp is not as porous as the rest of the hair shaft, it doesn't hold on to the direct dyes as strong as the porous mid shaft and ends. So the roots will shed the direct dyes quicker than the midshaft and ends because the roots are not as porous. So we apply the new growth touch-up to the 1 inch away from the scalp first, and we allow that to process for a full 30 minutes before we do anything else. We are making 1/4 to 1/2 inch partings. We want to make the partings thin enough to see through. We want to make sure that we saturate the roots with the direct dye. When we're working with direct dye hair colors, the cooler shades fade the fastest, and the warmer colors, they stay longer. As a rule, the reds and the orange, they stick around a lot longer than the silvers and the pastel blues and the pinks. Because textured hair is traditionally super dense, that's how many hairs per square inch, it's super important that we go in and cross check. And you can see right here in the front crown area, I'm using a wide tooth comb to comb through right here at the front hairline to blend, to make sure there's no line of demarcation on the root touch-up. You want to pay special attention to the front fringe top of the forehead. That is the area that people look at first, whether it's the client or a visitor. Our eyes tend to go to the other person's eyes and then straight up where their widow's peak would be. This is a traditional hair color new growth root touch-up. We have left the mid shaft and ends out in the crowns and the upper back where the hair is longer. Around the perimeter where we keep the hair short, we went darker with the peacock blue. The total processing time for this new growth touch-up was 45 minutes. Because we could, we added some extra hair love. We added bond builders and hair collagen to the direct dyes before we applied it to dry hair. And this is her hair shampooed, rebonded, and ready to be wrapped. No foam, no gel, no mousse, no silicones. Because direct dyes sit on top of the cuticle layers, all those other chemicals need sulfate shampoos to cleanse them off of the hair shaft. So when you use those products, you have to use detergent shampoos. And when you use detergent shampoos, they strip direct dyes off of your hair. This is the completed new growth root touch-up. We use the peacock blue hair color on the roots and the nape and perimeter. This is her hair color at 8 weeks out. As a colorist, you have to think forward when you formulate hair color and come up with a hair color strategy for your clients. Hair color is not static. It constantly evolves. We can already see her new growth showing through. She is a natural hair color level 1, so we're going darker at the root to camouflage the new growth. As a colorist, we keep a file for every hair color client, and we have head forms where we map out the different color placement on our client's hair. We keep a record of all of the hair color formulas, all of the rebonding treatments, and all of the support and maintenance products we use and sell to our clients. Remember, this client's hair is bleached to a level 9 underneath all of this direct dye. So we have to take extra loving care to keep her hair strong and healthy. We know that in 1 month, 4 weeks, her hair is going to grow another 1/2 inch, and we're going to need to adjust her hair color one more time. And this is where we went. I called her Mama Smurf, but she loved the hair color. It was a vibrant blue. We used the same peacock blue at week 12 from roots to tip. We didn't want to show you a video of that because you know how to apply hair color, direct dye hair color, semi-permanent hair colors from the roots to the tips. That's exactly what we did. And this is her hair at week 13. We have an amazing hair color coming up next. We are going to show you in real time the removal of artificial hair dyes from her hair. It's going to be amazing. It's not bleach. We mix this color remover with water. It is like magic. So subscribe, click the bell so you get notified when that video drops. Like I said, we are going to remove all of these direct dye hair colors with a color remover that's mixed with water, and we don't have to use any bleach to get rid of these direct dyes.